baby? What you looking at? What you looking for? I'll try to do this holding the camera, not looking at it. Just focus on that beautiful face, guys. I'm driving Sapphire from one vet to the other. It's been a very long 24 hours. Who would have thought that, yesterday afternoon, actually even yesterday morning, that I would be posting this right now. So remember yesterday morning in regards to Ponie, and I was referencing Sapphire too. I was just directly aiming it at the situation with Ponie because she was doing it to me at the time. Hold on, sweetie, I want you to fall over, okay? Yeah. Sorry, guys. Yeah, these little ones, they have a tendency to scare the shit out of you. And point in case right here, if a 90-pound dog skips dinner, oh well, right? But every time they decide not to eat, baby girl, you scare daddy. Because you have that opportunity for them to, have a hypoglycemic episode or whatever. Well, in, Ponie or Sapphire's case, like subtle changes, minor differences in diet or lack of food or, God forbid, weight. This poor little girl in the last 2-3 days has lost almost 3/4 of a pound. So anyway, shortly after the video yesterday afternoon where everybody's enjoying the little jokes of Sapphire and I'm trying to educate on her little tail, she's just seems a little bit tired today. Okay, well, she's older. This happens a lot. Sometimes she decides to eat. Sometimes she doesn't. No matter what happens, when she decides not to eat, she's always a little more tired, which scares daddy. Ponie was actually seeming to be in worse shape. She didn't eat last night either, after not eating yesterday morning. So Ponie was acting really weird, and I don't know what in the world was causing it. And one of the two of them, and I don't know which one because I wasn't watching at the time it happened, they have a pee pad right in front of their beds, and one of the two of them pooped out not once but twice bloody stool. Okay, well, that's a little alarming. So I got a fecal container because I have a bunch of them, and I texted the vet and said, hey, can I bring this in and, possibly an appointment for one of these two, and, can I bring it in tomorrow morning? And of course they said yes, no problem, and they were trying to get an appointment scheduled for me sometime throughout the day. And again, not even thinking about poor Sapphire, she was under a little blanket. And some people have commented, I wish you spend more time with Sapphire. Look, ladies and gentlemen, you don't see everything I do. I actually spend more time with Sapphire. I just don't play with her like I play with Ponie. She would rather snuggle up under my arm laying there while Ponie's humping my arm. So there's nothing to show you. So it's like, I get criticized for, oh, you spend more. No, you don't understand. Sapphire is glued to my hip. I went back and started, God forbid, from this. I was scared to death. I started going back for my phone and collecting all the photos of Sapphire that I have from the time she came here to put in its own folder because I haven't done that yet on my phone. And I didn't even get to Christmas from August, and I had over 600 photos of just her. Now, granted, Ponie was in some of them, but there was nowhere near as many of Ponie. Hi, baby, you're paying attention so well. So anyway, and also at the end of the video, I'm going to brave this. I'm going to actually add on the 10-second video I had to show this morning when I got my car. But anyway, I was up till 3:30 last night. Ponie, again, acting weird, wasn't eating, a little lethargic, shivering, shaking. And again, I was afraid I was going to have to take her to the emergency vet because none of these guys ever want to do this crap on a work day. It's always got to be off hours. So anyway, 3:30 last night, Ponie, I got the lights on. I'm annoying every other dog in my room. I'm answering messages, and I finally hear Ponie get up, and she's very loud and obvious when she drinks. Yes, she is. Your sister wakes the house up because it's like slurp. And I heard that, and I got out of bed, and I looked over the edge of the bed, and sure enough, Ponie's out of bed drinking. She's shaking her head. She's lively. I'm like, okay, I don't know what went on with this girl, but she's better now. I feel better. She's more upbeat. This is the Ponie I know. I can get through the night. I literally had not gotten to sleep yet. You're in one of those half sleep modes. It was 4:26 on my phone, and I heard a thump. And I jumped out of bed real quick, thinking it was one of the larger dogs, like, normal sized dogs in my room that are 4 or 5 pounds, not 2 pounds. And all I see is Sapphire standing on her pee pad. Well, she's just standing there not moving, and I'm like, okay. So they periodically get up through the night to have bathroom breaks all night long. So I get up to go to the bathroom myself, and as I come out to take a look at her, and her ears are straight up in the air, her eyes look like fish bowls, and I'm like, something's wrong with her. What's going on, baby? And she looked really frail, and she was wobbly. And I swear to God, guys, I wanted to, like, at that moment, I debated on, like, seriously debated on waking the whole house up, because the moment I step out of my room, the whole house goes ballistic, and Connie's like waking the dead, so I'd have to try to bang on her door to get her up and moving, to take her to the emergency vet. And the deciding factor on not to was that simply, you know, my emergency vet here, this local, I have learned to love them, you know, and this isn't about the money or that aspect of it, but I feel that, like, medically, they do a great job, but they don't have the attention to detail, the personal touch that my doctors at my Buckystown vet have. And I can't praise them enough. I know I'm jumping around, but there's so much to tell you. I can't praise them enough for the extra attention that they've done for me today with this little girl. Like, you'll see at the end of this the condition she was in. So anyway, I fall asleep around 5 o'clock because I laid there with her for like 20 minutes, and even though she was weak, I'm like, okay, she didn't want to drink at this time, but she just wanted to lay down. I'm like, okay, maybe, you know, we'll see how she does in a couple hours. We'll wake up. Well, I finally dozed off sometime after 5 and was awoken at 7 by the whole house going nuts. You know, somebody walked by a window, or, you know, somebody bumped something and the whole house went crazy, which woke me up. And at that moment, I immediately jumped out of bed. You know, Pony sleeps on top of the cover. She doesn't like to be under, so I'm like, Pony. And, you know, she pops her head right up and like, okay, Pony is her typical self. Wonderful. Sapphire, baby. No movement. And Sapphire's always underneath the blankets. You're really paying attention to what I'm saying, aren't you, beautiful girl? I'm sorry, baby. You're so beautiful, honey. And there she was, looking like basically comatose, a little frail body that's just not in a natural position. And I just died. She was extremely lightweight, limp, and again, like yesterday morning, I watched her eat and drink. This is not a long time period to go down this fast. So anyway, long story short, I text the vet because this is at 7. I know they open at 8. It's going to take me half an hour, 40 minutes to get there anyway. And I text my friend Gina that works there, the head technician or the head tech, and, you know, said, hey, can I bring her in? And she's like, yeah, we got a 10:30 time. And she goes, unless you think you need to come now. And I sent her that little 8-second video that you'll see at the end of this. And oh my God, like, Gina's like, you need to get her here now. So I brought her in, and again, I haven't slept. And her glucose was unmeasurable with a glucose stick, and they had to actually draw blood from her, and it took forever to get a catheter in her tiny little arm. But they finally did, and her blood sugar was 12. She was extremely dehydrated. Her temperature was at 95, and actually after she had gotten there, it continued to drop. She was down to 91 degrees. Now, for those of you that don't know, a dog's temperature should be somewhere between 99.5 to 101.5. Somewhere in there is considered average. Anything over 103 is considered critical on the high side, and anything under 90, I want to say 99 or 98, is critical on the low side. So she was at 95 and dipped to like damn near room temperature. Yeah, I can't get over it, sweetie. You scared the shit out of Daddy. But she hung in there, and like every time I would call her name as I'm talking to her coming down the road, she would raise her head for just a little bit, and she fought and she hung in there. So anyway, so let's talk about what happened, why it happened. We don't know. They're running blood work on her. All of her blood work came back normal except for her white blood cell count. So she got high white blood cell count. She's got blood in her stool, and she's, you know, dehydrated as well as hypoglycemic. Sorry guys, I'm actually paying attention to the road, not talking. So anyway, we're here now. I'll finish this up real quick, baby, and then we'll go in, okay? So anyway, we had fecal from last night because I scooped up that sample. I'm so happy your head's up, baby. Look at you, you're such a trooper. So the in-house fecal, everything came back negative. The only thing they can't test for, which we're going to send out for, is Giardia. And, you know, I've had a little bit of Giardia here and there to come in, and those that don't know, it's a parasite, not a worm. Gets in your intestines, and in normal dogs, in most cases, like, you don't want it in their systems. It causes diarrhea, loose stool, irritations to the bowels. But that's, in a lot of cases, all it is. Now, there can be extremes with it, and that's why you want to get rid of it. But I guess if in fact this is what it is with her, because this is the only household thing we can think of before we start looking at really bad stuff, she's 2 pounds. So Giardia could take, if she does in fact have it for some reason, it could really be taking its toll. Oh my goodness, you're beautiful. I can't look at you while I talk because I lose all track of what I'm saying, baby. I know, I'm so sorry. So anyway, long story short, she was on care all day. She had a glucose drip. She needed intravenous fluids, and she needed antibiotics to combat the white blood cell count. They got her temperature up to 99.1 almost immediately by the time I went from the doctor's office to home this morning, because we still have everybody else we have to take care of, and so that was a blessing. And then her glucose went up to 40 at one point, which was good. It was still nowhere near out of the woods, but she was moving in the right direction. Anyway, throughout the day, she got up to 103 on her glucose level. Everything else is maintaining fine, but she's still having bloody diarrhea. She's just not quite strong and healthy enough to not need supplemental care, which I can't give her. So we're going to take her to care tonight. They're going to continue to help strengthen her overnight. They're not going to do anything other than, like, God forbid something goes wrong, they're going to have full authority to do whatever they got to keep her alive. And then hopefully we can figure out through tomorrow if it's Giardia. We'll know tomorrow. If it's not Giardia, I have an ultrasound scheduled for Monday at 2:00, because we have to start entertaining the possibility of something, God forbid, cancer. You okay, baby girl? Okay, we'll get you inside. God forbid, cancer or something to do with the liver, because I don't know if you guys remember or not, but upon receiving them from the Mia Foundation, it was documented that there was some history of some liver issues, although it wasn't clarified, and the tests that we ran with blood work and everything when they first came here didn't show anything outstanding. So we kind of didn't go from there. And it's just like, how often do you have to have your dogs checked up? I mean, once a year, once every 6 months, it seems like just to be safe, it's like once a month you should take your dogs in, because they change so quickly, especially if you don't know their histories. So anyway, we're going to have to find out what's going on with you. Let's just hope it's an irritable GI system from a parasite, and not something like a liver shunt or, God forbid, cancer or something like that. So anyway, that's a wrap. I know, baby, I love you so much. We're going to take her in. Everybody, please, prayers for this little beautiful girl. Thank you.